The 4th of July came around this year, along with a powerful full moon. There were some awesome spiritual energies happening, especially in my life. It has been 3 years since I made the solo journey across the country, from west to east, arriving here in the Ozark Mountains to begin this new phase of life. My mountain retreat began in July of 2020 after leaving one of the islands off the coast of Washington State. I came here during the time of lockdown madness. It was in full swing, and my guidance specifically told me to get away from the more populated areas. Since that time, I've gone through some pretty intense healings and adventures, diving more deeply into primal conscious living. One of the most insightful things I've learned is that spiritual life occurs in a series of ascending climbs and plateaus. We all seem to learn and grow in this way, even if we aren't aware of it. Each of us goes through our life experiences facing challenges and personal inner struggles, often having to confront those shadow parts of ourselves before we can ascend higher. It is simply the organic way to grow along the process of understanding of ourselves. But at some point, each one of us comes to a time of leveling off, a place where we aren't necessarily struggling as much and are thus able to express more creatively. These are times when we're most productive, perhaps involved in helping others within our inner circle or our community. However, this inner journey towards greater degrees of integration and wholeness eventually leads towards another period, another uphill climb, where we are endeavoring to reach even greater depths of understanding. We do this in order to directly experience the perfection or the innate divinity that is already within us. At least this is the case for me. These alternating times of climbing and learning and ascending, followed by delightful intervals of creative plateaus, are part of the process I've now learned to expect, as well as welcome and appreciate. After recently concluding one of these similar plateaus in my own life, I found myself in a phase where I knew things were going to shift dramatically once more. This time, I decided to kick it off by doing a mushroom journey. Now, I must admit, I'm not really that experienced in psychedelic plant medicines. My spiritual background is grounded in Buddhist meditation, Essene and Gnostic mystical traditions. I prefer to utilize the traditional disciplines of simple lifestyle, communion with nature, meditation, and sexual alchemy. My spiritual path is grounded more towards the earth and the natural forces, but I can say this in all honesty. I do have a healthy respect and appreciation for what plant medicines provide. They offer a way to enhance our own process of self-discovery as well as our emotional healing. A couple of weeks ago, I learned about an English woman who seems to have completely transcended all of this in her own life. She talks about her insights and personal spiritual experiences from a place of neutrality, beyond all duality, beyond male and female, beyond light and dark, up and down or in and out. So before beginning my mushroom journey, I found myself thinking about this woman and even endeavored to communicate with her on the inner planes. She and I had an interesting chat. In this video, I'll reveal what I learned from that encounter. So this morning I decided not to eat anything, though I did have a cup of coffee. The weather was pleasantly warm and not too humid. It definitely seemed like the perfect day for delving deeply into a plant medicine journey on my own. I find that I prefer to do this alone. Not that a guide isn't helpful. In fact, the first couple of times I went through this with a friend who kindly guided me. After that, I realized I'm skilled enough and quite familiar enough with my own shit that I can manage the process with just the help of the angels of the earthly mother. So today, this is what I did. After ingesting the dried stems of 2 mushrooms, I stripped off my clothes and took a morning sun bath, completely allowing the angel of sun to enter my solar center. It was an exhilarating experience, and I've covered the benefits of heliotherapy in a previous video. At some point, I definitely started feeling the effect of the psilocybin kicking in. So in case you don't know, psilocybin is a mild hallucinogenic chemical that's found in a specific mushrooms. They're called magic mushrooms. So eating mushrooms that contain psilocybin can provide a variety of effects, quite similar to LSD and ranging from pleasure to hallucinations. Some people believe it does this by activating serotonin receptors, most often in the prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain is where mood is affected, cognition and perception. Psilocybin doesn't necessarily cause visual or auditory hallucinations, but instead distorts how some people perceive objects that are already in their environment. For me this time, I experienced incredible geometric imagery, and it was actually quite intense. Though I've been through this kind of experience before, this particular journey ended up in me perceiving geometric lotus blossoms. Later, I told my friend Maria about this, and I mentioned that I now fully understand and appreciate why the Buddhist traditions regard the lotus flower as a symbol of enlightenment. The geometry and the structure represented in the lotus comes directly from higher thought currents. I was absolutely stunned to experience this kind of imagery unfolding inside myself. I sat in the sun for quite a while and kept my eyes closed in order to observe and fully absorb this profound imagery that my mind was revealing. And I realized it's always there. Brilliant colors that transcend the narrow slice of visible light that we actually see. Beyond that spectrum, there is indeed so much more. A reality that's completely liberated from the laws and the physical realm, as well as the psychic structures we experience day to day and lifetime after lifetime. The mushroom medicine opens a window in one's consciousness, which allows us to experience a sublime glimpse past all the limited structures of the ego construct. The plant medicine goddess suspends our personal and collective ego thought system, and to whatever capacity we need, as a way to break us free from the self-imposed limitations and false beliefs and idols that we have erected to hide the presence of the unmanifest reality, the An-Sof or the Glorian, or what I like to call Great Mother Tao, that which is beyond. This window seems to only be open for a brief time, and for me, that is the gift the plant goddess offered to me once again. I asked myself, can I truly embrace this gift without attachment? Can I enter into that sacred, divine communion with full acceptance that what is being shown to me is already within myself? I've learned that there really is only one problem, and consequently, one solution. The problem are the barriers, the false beliefs, desires, and the identities that we install and protect as a way to hide the awareness of the great divine oneness. This is how we survive on planet Earth as intellectual human animals, chasing things, developing self-mastery, conquests of others, gathering food and fuel and resources as a way to gain greater mating opportunities. That way we can hope to live on through spreading our genes. It is completely an animal program, part of the world of Malkut, physical reality. To me, human beings have the capacity to either ascend the tree of life and transcend the ego, or we can descend farther downward into the underworlds, the unconscious realms of animal, plant, and mineral kingdoms, thereby allowing nature to strip the ego from us. It really is up to us. It is our own individual choice, part of the miraculous journey back to self and back to source. And of course, we can choose to do nothing as well. Just simply allow nature to reabsorb our essences. Sometimes I suspect that this is the path that most humans on this planet have chosen. And it really is okay. It's allowed. The solution that I've chosen is to consciously plant myself like a tiny acorn, digging my roots intimately into the womb of the earthly mother and consciously absorbing her holy angels, the sun, water, air, and soil. Yet at the same time, spread my branches up toward the Heavenly Father and reaching for the higher currents of superior thought. This is symbolized by the holy tree of life, which is planted in the sea of eternity. When I made conscious contact with the woman sage I mentioned earlier, the one who seems to have transcended all of this, I honored her. For a moment, she and I mingled in that familiar heart space. And then each of us faded into the cosmic womb of the Great Mother. It was then that I realized I must follow the path that has been given to me in my own way. As each of us must do. I like how it's stated in A Course in Miracles. It says, "It is a journey without distance to a goal that has never changed." The goal for me is to consciously embrace life, endeavoring to reach ever higher by removing the obstacles to the awareness of love's presence. I find that whenever my body goes through this kind of inner processing, there's a sacrifice that comes with it. It arises as a painful purging. The way that this manifests in my body is that I have to endure stress. It feels like mild poisoning. Typically, I experience tremendous jitters. My heart rate elevates, and what comes up for me is a sense of anxiety or panic. This is the effect of the plant medicine revealing deep-seated issues and bringing them up to the surface of my awareness, to be felt, emoted, and ultimately released. I feel that these conditions are very much a part of my own core trauma from childhood, and I am very aware of what they are all about. My process of healing for many years has been through embracing the powers of the earthly mother, applying de-armoring body work, expressing the pain openly, and of course, intimate nurturing and sacred lovemaking. I was gifted in this life with the love of an extraordinary woman. For 27 years, we delved into the ancient mysteries, learning the secrets of what it means to live an authentic life, to be rooted in the earthly mother, and opening ourselves consciously to the cosmic Father. Our intimate communions were sacred and deeply profound. The plant medicine journey that I experienced today gave me what I needed to see. So when I recognized it, I decided it was time to stop the effects. I lit a bundle of sage and prayed to the Great Spirit in reverence and deepening gratitude for all that was revealed to me. It felt beneficial to take some activated charcoal powder because the jitters were really intense. I wanted to reduce the chemical in my body and slow down the psychedelic effect, and the charcoal absorbed it all within an hour or so. But I also took some calcium bentonite clay as well. Charcoal and clay can purge and absorb poisons from the body. So remember that if you ever find yourself in a dire situation, whether from food poisoning or suffering toxic exposure. I'm grateful for this sacred journey and for being able to embrace the elemental forces around me here on the mountain, allowing the healing power of nature to cleanse and purify my heart, my mind, and this precious body. All beings have a shadow until they learn how to radiate their own light.